Hey everybody, Donnie Seymour here with SportsbookReview.com. Week 16 NFL is here. Where did the season go? Only 2 weeks left. Can you believe it? Teams jockeying for playoff position. Teams trying to just make it in the playoffs. And some teams already planning their golf tournaments in the offseason and where they're going to draft and how high they can climb if they tank these past couple weeks. Now, taking a look at the NFL schedule, usually we have a Thursday night football game. Not going to be the case this week. We have 3 Saturday football games and a full slate on Sunday. I got to tell you, those Saturday games are quite interesting. Let's dip right into it here to get a preview. 4:55, 4:56, 1 p.m. on Saturday, first of a tripleheader. That's going to be Houston and Tampa Bay. How about this? Houston with a victory can clinch the AFC South no matter what Tennessee does. If Tennessee wins their next 2 games and the Texans win this game and lose, as we said, to Week 17 to the Titans, it doesn't matter. They already have the division. If we take a look at the opening odds, they opened up at somewhere around -1 in a pick'em, but quickly now moving to the favored Houston Texans. Also keep in mind in this game some major injuries from a Tampa Bay perspective. Mike Evans probably done for the season, as well as Chris Godwin. Doesn't seem to be slowing down that Bruce Arians-led offense for Tampa Bay, but they're going to get a staunch push from a team looking to clinch a home playoff game and also the division in the Houston Texans. Game number 2, another really good one here. Buffalo, 2 double-digit win teams here. Buffalo heading up to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Now, this is an interesting game also, not because we just saw the Buffalo Bills clinch a playoff seat and get their 10th win. They still have their eyes possibly on an AFC East championship being the Buffalo Bills, but they will have to go into Foxborough and win in Week 16, then also take care of business in Week 17. And even if they go into Foxborough and win this football game, you still have to count on a Week 17 loss to the Miami Dolphins for the New England Patriots. That's probably not going to happen. So maybe just lining it up, seeing if you can beat the old bull in the ring and the New England Patriots, and then maybe in the playoffs you get that, confidence built up if you do face them again, knowing you can beat them. This line opened up at 6 during the week, still sitting at 6s across the board with a total of 38, 451, 452. The nightcap here, another good football game. Los Angeles Rams on life support trying to make it into the playoffs. Theoretically could miss the playoffs with a 10-win football season playing San Francisco. Last week, a heartbreaking loss in the last seconds to the Atlanta Falcons on a Julio Jones touchdown right at the goal line. This line opened up at -6, now sitting at 6s and 6.5s, and also a total of 45. All these line movements and more, as you know, get them at SBRodds.com. Full Sunday slate. Jacksonville and Atlanta, that line opened up at -7.5, now sits at 7s. Not too much either one of those 2 teams are playing for. How about New Orleans? Impressive victory last night as we saw them dismantle the Indianapolis Colts. They go on the road and play Tennessee. A lot to play for still, again, as we said, for the Tennessee Titans trying to make the playoffs and also with an outside shot at winning the division championship. New Orleans trying to jump into one of those top 2 spots in the NFC to resurrect and stay in the dome throughout the playoffs, which is so key for Drew Brees as opposed to going outside and playing possibly in the cold in some environments here. That line opened up as a favorite. New Orleans -3, still sits at -3 across the board. Giants and the Washington Redskins, not too much in that football game. We need to worry about -2.5 as a favorite for Washington. We'll skip down to some of the really important games of the week as we get later. Baltimore, how about that? A 10-point favorite as they face the Cleveland Browns. Team turmoil, as we like to say, with the Cleveland Browns. But Baltimore looking to shore up that top seed, which would be interesting because if they win this week, they get the top seed automatically. Probably looking at resting Lamar Miller, which is key because, Lamar Jackson, because what's key in Week 17, they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. That might be a free win for the Steelers to try to help propel the Steelers into the playoffs. Something to keep an eye on. But as we said, a 10-point line in that game with an over-under of 47.5. And how about the 425 game? 475, 476. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys are going to tangle. That preview line opened up last week at -1 in favor of the Cowboys. Now sits at -2.5. And if we take a look at the over-under, 46.5. Not really too bad of weather conditions were expected for Sunday. And Fox did protect this football game, which is why it's not on Sunday Night Football as a flex game. Should be a good one here. Now, look, we know Carson Wentz has played really well the past 2 weeks against lower-level competition. Actually, the past 3 weeks against lower-level competition, going 2-1 in that stretch. Not many weapons. The Dallas Cowboys are the much more talented team, but if you lean on Jason Garrett, maybe they come up small in a big spot. If Dallas does win this football game, they do clinch the NFC East, and they can rest their players in Week 17 as a de facto bye week heading into the playoffs. The Eagles would need to beat the Dallas Cowboys and then go on to beat, in the final week, the New York Giants up in New York to clinch the division. Arizona and Seattle, that line opens up at 10. Now sitting at 9.5, 51 as a total. We look to probably get some points in that football game. Seattle trying to stay in the number 1 overall seed, struggling a little bit on defense, but playing in Seattle, not certainly the easiest tactic to do. They're going to look to hold on. Night football game on Sunday night. Kansas City goes into Chicago. Chicago eliminated from the playoffs. Kansas City needs to win to stay on top of the division, maybe make an outside push at getting a bye. And then the Monday night football game, big time. Green Bay and Minnesota battle in the NFC North. That line opened up at 4, now sits at 4.5 as a favorite to Minnesota. Keep in mind the status of Dalvin Cook. Looks like he's probably not going to play in that football game. An over-under of 45.5. What a great Week 16. For all that and more NFL content, always check out sportsbookreview.com. And these lines are moving all day long. Check them out at SBRodds.com. I'm Donnie Seymour. Good luck on those wagers this weekend.